Hey everyone, hope you are well today. And I just wanted to have this little bit of a brief moment with you and get back in touch as I have been uh, seemingly gone for some time. Um, it's, well, I mean, pretty much every conversation I have on here is pretty much serious and intense, and that's just sort of my personality. I always have something that I want to say. And because I'm not really, the comedy kind of person. So, this is something that has crossed my mind, and I feel that it's important that I share it. Yesterday, I did a post, and it depicted the difference between, buying a Coca-Cola versus buying water, and buying a hamburger versus buying a salad, and um, the difference, obviously, in the cost of this, and the fact that you know, anything healthy was very, very expensive, and uh, it's it's a silly thing, to be honest with you, because um, sometimes people ask the question like, why is that even the way it is? I mean, it shouldn't. You think it would cost more money to produce a hamburger than it would to produce a salad? In fact, it's true. It would cost more to produce a hamburger when it comes right down to it. But bottom line is that as people, uh, we're supposed to be sick. We're supposed to be completely sleeping in a world where people want to take advantage of ignorance. Um, it's important to understand this simple philosophy, and it kind of goes like this. Uh, what can you accomplish when you don't know anything? And the answer is nothing. And obviously, what can you accomplish when you know everything? And the answer is going to be anything and everything. You know how many people in the last 30 years I have seen who are constantly trying to lose weight? And they say losing weight rather than fat. Why? Because they don't know the difference. They don't understand the difference because they're not taught the difference, because our whole culture talks about weight loss. They think that doing a diet, a pill, a powder, this or that is going to work. They think cellulite creams work, or liposuction works, or gastric bypass will work to make them healthier, when this is definitely not the case. We come up with these ideas and concepts and every kind of option and opportunity to continually to keep the human person engaged in trying to accomplish what they just can't seem to accomplish. Because when you really come right down to it and you look, there's not a person that when they're young looks like they do when they're older. Everyone as they get older looks worse than they did when they were younger. Everyone is fatter when they're older. Everyone is weaker when they're older. Everyone is more sick when they're older. Everyone digresses, doesn't progress. We don't get better with age, we get worse with age. And this is obvious to see. And everyone that look around you, look on the streets, look around. Fat is an epidemic. Obesity is an epidemic. Nana used to look like this when she was 14 years old, and now Nana is 65 and she's this big. I mean, this is the way it goes. And why is that? Why do you think that is? I mean, doesn't it stand to reason that as an educated culture, as a people that have a huge amount of resources around us, technology at its best, that we would be able to get on top of this scenario? You would think that if the culture itself truly wanted us healthy, you wouldn't see garbage restaurants around serving garbage foods. You would see restaurants serving good foods. You would think that in the schools you would see healthy foods. You would probably see no soft drinks. You would probably not see McDonald's or Burger King around. You would see it as it used to be, healthy, natural foods. But, of course, it's not that way, because business is business, and it's all about business. And when you look at business, the benefit of business is making money, and there is no more money to be made than there is in selling health and wellness. Now, I don't mean you're selling somebody health. You're destroying their life so that they have the option of buying into a health concept to get better. But in truth, there's no education in that. There's no true education when it comes to being healthy or doing the right thing, because no one even knows, who they are, let alone what their body needs. You hear BS, women need 1,200 calories per day. This is just a logic that is incomprehensible. It doesn't even make any sense. As much to say, if you want to lose weight, eat less than you need. These are logics that have been preached for forever. And the bottom line is that all of these perpetuate unhealthiness. If we are healthier as a nation, then you say it works. If we are more obese as a nation, then you say it doesn't work. And in the very end of it all, when people are jumping from one thing to the next, always trying to, get ahead, get on top of their health. No one wants to be sick. No one wants to get cancer. No one wants to have a heart disease or stroke. No one wants to not be able to play with their kids because of a slipped disc or herniated disc. No one wants to worry about, what's coming. No one ever wants to feel a pain in their chest and say, oh my God, is this the one? No one wants that to happen. But it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen because no one knows how to prevent it. And there is no real education, because education in this is specific to the individual, and it's not specific to just anyone. No two human beings are alike. When they first, passed out penicillin for the very first time, it didn't save everyone. As a matter of fact, it killed people as well. Why? Because everyone's body is unique and different, and it does not respond exactly the same way. So, in fact, you can't say, for example, this medication is good for everyone, because it's not the case. So therefore, you can't say that this diet is good for everyone, because it's not the case. Because nobody, was raised the same, thinks the same, processes things the same. No one has the same confidence or self-esteem. No one has the same support system. No one has the same physical abilities. No one has the same mental abilities. So in reality, if people want to be able to be successful, they have to truly understand who it is that they are first and foremost, before they can ever find their way to getting help. So when it comes to education, wow, how specific that has to be. We basically need to sit people down almost one-on-one to educate them. So there's no time for that. So basically everything is general rule. General rule. Well, generally, nothing's really going to work in that respect. Yes, it's true. You can go on a diet and cut out your calories, and instead of eating a required amount of, say, 2,000 calories a day, you can eat 1,000 calories a day and essentially starve yourself. It's true, you can do that, and you will lose weight. But of course, you're just going to lose all your water and your muscle, and you're going to be depressed and down and less energy and fatigued, and you can't think straight, you can't focus, you're forgetful, you're nervous, you're reactive. And then, of course, you can't manage this very, very well. Yeah, you lost weight, you're less in your clothes, you're less on the scale, but your body's soft and flabby, and it doesn't look good for you. You're not happy with the way things are, and then mentally your confidence is failing because you've done all this effort and you're not better than you were before. So then you just forget it, go back to eating whatever it is that you were eating. Next thing you know, you're back up in weight again, and more weight. Not just a little bit, but more, always more. So then this process continues to happen over and over, year after year, year after year. And by the time that, like I said, Nana was like this when she was young, and when she's old, she's like this, because in time, everyone just gets fatter. But along with fat, 92% of all illnesses come from nutrition-related issues. So fat, fat, fat. Number one cause of death, heart disease, fat. Number two, stroke, fat. Diabetes, nutrition. Number four, cancer, fat. And everything else that goes along with it. It's time to wake up. People need to wake up. Common sense, you need to start to realize, even though you think that you're going to get it just like this, I don't want to put an effort in. I don't want to get educated. I just want it right now. Isn't there a pill I can just take? Why? Because we're lazy? Because we've been taught that things can come that quickly? No such thing happens like that. No farmer plants his crops and then looks the next day and sees success. Okay? You wouldn't get into a plane with a pilot who's never been educated to fly that plane, because you're going to die. You would never let a doctor, open you up and perform surgery when in fact he's never been trained as a doctor. So what is going on when it comes to us and our own health? Who's trained to help us? Who's educated to help us truly? Who's trained to help us when it comes to understanding what our own body needs. Now, if you go see someone, you go pay someone some money to have a consultation, for example, or you go pay to go into a clinical office, I mean, are they specifically talking to you and your life and your circumstances and your story and the way you were raised and the things that you're allergic to and the things that bother you and the things that you can do and the things that you can't do in your social environment and your mental environment? I mean, are all these things looked at? Are they looking at the things that your body needs and requires, your own body, since nobody's body is the same? I mean, one of us can weigh 100 kilos, one can weigh 50 kilos, one can weigh 120 kilos. One person's bone structure is huge. One person's bone structure is small and not dense. One person has no muscle. One person has a huge amount of muscle. One person's a lot of fat. One person's a lot. Bottom line. You want to know why you see a burger cheaper than a salad. You want to know why when a farmer can raise, for example, 20,000 chickens like in 6 weeks, and yet it's so expensive for chicken, because these things are looked at as part of a healthy lifestyle. And if a person is educated truly and lives a healthy lifestyle, mentally, spiritually, holistically, and physically, if you are truly educated on how to be successful for you, would you ever diet? Would you ever take a pill, a powder? Would you ever do the crazy things that people are doing every single day in hopes of getting healthy when you know those things won't get you healthy? If you're educated, would you touch all the stuff that's on the markets today? No. Would you even go to a fast food restaurant and make that the normal part of your existence? No, you wouldn't, because you'd be educated. But if you're educated, do you not think that this is affecting a lot of people's... I'll rephrase that. If you're educated, do you not think this is affecting the corporate world's pocketbook? If the agenda in this world is to create power through money and knowledge, and you're just as knowledgeable as those who really do know what's going on, then there's no discrepancy between who's who. Corporations make a lot of money when you pass down the information which is not accurate, and so people are walking around sick all the time, issues all the time, spending their time in a hospital, when hospitals continually grow more and more and more in size with more and more clients inside them because more and more people are sick at an earlier age even. I mean, lactose intolerant, wheat intolerant, gluten intolerance, well, where did this come from? I mean, was this here 100 years ago? Did your grandparents suffer with these ailments and issues? No, of course not. Why now? So look at the business that is generated by people who are not well. Look at the business that is generated from a 12 or 13-year-old child who is growing up and feeling the pressure from marketing and saying, look at me, I don't look good. I don't look like her. And they said, that's what perfect is. Oh my God. So oh my God, I'm 13 years old and I need to develop. So surgery, or augmentation, or, well, my nose is too big, so let's knock that down, or my teeth aren't white enough, so let's do this, or my face, I have wrinkles, so Botox. And we do all of these things for the name of image. Well, we do all these things for the name of image because we feel that we're not good enough, because our culture has driven us to that. Because when you drive someone to feel not good enough, they will do what they can to start to feel confident. Everyone wants to feel good. We all want to feel like we're worthy and good and special. So then are we not all going to look at some way to adjust our circumstances? And are we not going to pay for that information? Absolutely. And when you pay for that information and it still doesn't make you better. So when you've had liposuction, spent all that money, but a year later you're still fat, or now fatter but different fat, meaning the fat is now displaced and doesn't even look as good. Isn't that kind of stupid to do? I mean, wouldn't it really, think about what I'm going to say right now, wouldn't it be kind of silly to ask somebody to come pump out the water in your boat, which obviously has a leak in it, so you pay someone to pump the water out when in fact you haven't fixed the hole yet? I mean, in fact, by doing liposuction, you're sucking out the fat, but you haven't even stopped to consider how you got fat in the first place. So you're not going to change that. So, excuse me. So why do liposuction until you get educated on how to stop getting fat? Then you can do liposuction if that's the case. Money, 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 money. There is education, and then there's no education. You have the opportunity to diet, and you have the opportunity to get educated. If it's me, I pay to get educated, so therefore I never have to touch a dieting product, pill, scheme, scam, fad, crap ever again. So if I had to spend money once, I would say it's like I would rather spend my money on, let's say, learning how to drive a car. I spend my money, I learn how to drive a car, I learn it once, and I drive that car for the rest of my life. I don't have to get re-educated, and I don't have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands on different ideas on how to drive a car because I know how to drive a car. I said something today. I said, it's easy to be healthy. And somebody said, no, it's not. And I said, well, it is easy if you know how. It's kind of like saying, can you fly a plane? Well, not many people can. So it wouldn't be easy. But for a pilot, it's easy because he's been educated. You see how education works? When you get educated, what you don't know now becomes what you do know. And when you do know something, you can accomplish anything. And there are millions and millions and millions of people out there who don't even have a clue what is going on in the world that they live in, let alone the world inside their body. They don't know this because they're not educated to understand it. They don't know how to change it because they're not educated to understand it. And they're not aware of what's happening in our culture around them when it comes to politics and to business and to mismanaging human life, just all in the name of money. You want to be in the know. And as long as you're not in the know and you're not educated, and so therefore you don't know, what you're going to accomplish when it comes to, for example, your health is absolutely nothing. You will, like everyone else, when you don't know, only get older, get sicker, weaker, more tired, fatter, and spend your money to maintain or try to get back your health. So, that's my thought for the day. It's my thought for the week. It's my thought. I hope it certainly hasn't covered it. I can discuss this for hours. But maybe now you start to understand why it is that garbage is cheap and health is expensive. Okay, that's it. Have a great day.